Welcome back to NeuroPower Talks, where neuroscience meets unstoppable motivation to help you rewire your mind and transform your life from the inside out. Today's episode is going to challenge everything you've been told about fat loss. Because here's the true thing, your body already knows how to burn fat. It's your brain that forgot how to let it. You heard me right. This isn't about another diet. This isn't about counting calories or pushing harder in the gym. This is about your brain. Because fat loss starts in the mind, not in the mirror. The human body is a biochemical masterpiece. It knows how to mobilize fat, balance hormones, regulate hunger, and generate energy, but only if the brain is sending the right signals. And most people, their brain is sending the wrong ones. Signals of stress, fear, scarcity, exhaustion. And that flips the switch from fat burning to fat storing. In this episode, we're going to unpack exactly how your brain is sabotaging your body and how to rewire those neural pathways so your biology can finally do what it was designed to burn fat effortlessly. This is not just fitness. This is not just motivation. This is brain-powered, biology-backed transformation. This is NeuroPower Talks. Let's begin. Your body hasn't forgotten. Your body knows. It remembers how to burn fat, how to shift into survival mode when needed and out of it when the threat is gone. It knows how to find balance, how to release what is no longer needed, how to metabolize not just food, but experience. But your brain is still trapped. Not in the present, not in today, but in a centuries-old lie, a survival loop, unconscious war where famine always feels near, danger always feels real, and every ounce of stored fat is a silent insurance policy against some imagined ancestral disaster. We think we're failing because we don't have discipline, because we lack motivation, because we don't eat clean enough, fast long enough, train hard enough. But this isn't about enough. This is about permission. Your body is ready to let go, but your brain won't let it. Because somewhere deep in the limbic system, somewhere inside your hypothalamus and amygdala, the warning lights are still flashing. Hold on to fat. Don't burn it. You might need it. That signal isn't conscious. You live by it. But every late night craving, every impulsive snack, every moment you choose comfort over clarity, every time you feel overwhelmed and open that fridge without hunger, it's not weakness. It's programming. It's safety seeking. It's your brain sending one last message to your body. We're not out of the woods yet. You see, your metabolism isn't controlled by calories. It's governed by perception, the way your brain perceives your world. Your schedule, your stress, your environment determines whether your body feels safe enough to burn fat. We have been taught to treat the body like a machine. Input, output, calculate the deficit. But your body doesn't work like a calculator. It works like an orchestra, and the conductor is your brain. And if the conductor is offbeat, stressed, afraid, disconnected, then the whole body plays out of tune. You wake up and immediately grab your phone. Notifications flood your system. Cortisol spikes. Your sympathetic nervous system is now in charge. Your body isn't in flow, it's in fight. And guess what? When you're in fight mode, your brain tells your body, store everything. Don't digest properly, don't detox, don't metabolize, just store. Because something bad might happen and we'll need every ounce of energy we've got. It's ancient's primal, it's subconscious, and so fat loss stalls. Not because the body is failing, but because the brain won't allow it. Your brain does not respond to reason, it responds to rhythm, to ritual, to repetition. That's how it learns safety. And that's what we've forgotten. You can't beat fat loss into submission. You can't trick your body with hacks if your brain is still convinced the world is dangerous. Your body is asking for a signal that it is safe to let go. And that signal comes from what you feel, not just what you eat. You see, it's not about cutting carbs, it's about cutting cars. It's not about going keto, it's about creating coherence. When your nervous system is dysregulated, your brain doesn't let your body rest. When you are constantly rushing, skipping meals, ignoring hunger, overriding fullness, forcing yourself to keep going while your body begs for stillness. Your brain registers that as a threat. And when you're under threat, fat loss stops. Because the body can't release when the brain is still holding on. The worst part, you start blaming yourself. You think it's your fault. You think you lack willpower. You start self-shaming. But shame is the heaviest weight you'll ever carry, and your brain holds onto it like armor. Every unresolved wound, every unprocessed moment, every ounce of mental inflammation sends a messaging not yet. Don't let go yet. We still need to protect ourselves, We call it a weight problem, but the weight isn't the problem. The weight is the evidence. It's the manifestation of a nervous system stuck in hypervigilance, a body obeying a brain that believes release is risky. And until we address that, until we go deeper than macros, deeper than workouts, deeper than spreadsheets and step counts, we stay stuck. There are people who do everything right. They track, they measure, they follow protocols, and yet their fat won't budge. Why? Because their internal chemistry doesn't match their external strategy, because their brain is still operating from a place of emotional famine. And when your emotional needs are unmet, your physical body compensates. That's why real fat loss, lasting, permanent, cellular transformation begins with the brain, not the diet, not the treadmill, but the thoughts you feed, the safety you feel, the signals you send. When you slow down your mornings, when you breathe before you eat, when you stop eating in traffic, in chaos, in front of glowing screens, when you walk slowly after meals, when you touch your body with care instead of criticism, that's when the brain starts listening. That's when it starts updating its instructions. That's when it whispers to the body, we're okay now, you can let it go, because fat is not just fuel, it's memory. It's hormonal backup, message that once, long ago, something wasn't safe, and your brain encoded that moment into your biology. So if you want to lose fat, stop asking, what should I eat? And start asking, what does my nervous system need to feel safe enough to release? Your body is brilliant. It's efficient. It's ancient wisdom wrapped in skin. It already knows how to burn fat. That's not lost. That's not broken. What's broken is the connection. What's lost is the trust. And that trust can be rebuilt, but not with punishment, not with biohacks that spike cortisol and confuse your hormones, not with cycles of guilt and rebound, but with presence, with safety, with consistency. The body doesn't need aggression, it needs alignment. The brain doesn't need more information, it needs reprogramming, and that happens when you feel different. When your mornings begin in calm, not chaos. When your meals are slow, not scattered. When your thoughts are clear, not conflicted. Every time you rest deeply, you're retraining your brain to allow release. Every time you say no to one more obligation and yes to yourself, you're changing your hormonal environment. Every time you shift from judgment to compassion, you're dropping cortisol and telling your body, now is the time, you're safe to burn. And slowly, something shifts. The fat that once clung with fear begins to melt with faith. The cravings lose their grip. The hunger becomes true, not emotional. The sleep becomes deeper. The digestion smoother. You stop obsessing, you start feeling, you become present. And presence is where fat loss actually begins. The body always knew how, it just needed your brain to believe it was finally safe enough to let go. You don't wake up each day and crave what nourishes you, you crave what comforts you. And it's not because you're lazy, it's not because you're weak. It's because your brain right now is following an outdated script, a neural loop written by your past experiences, reinforced by your emotional scars, and sealed shut by a world that taught you to reach for sugar when what you really needed was safety. You think fat loss is about willpower, but the truth is, fat loss is about rewiring, because every time you say, I'll start tomorrow, what you're really saying is, my brain isn't ready yet. It's not that your body resists change. It's that your brain does, because change isn't just uncomfortable, it's unfamiliar. And your brain will choose familiar suffering over unfamiliar peace every time, not because it wants to sabotage you, but because it's trying to protect you. Your brain associates repetition with survival. So if you've repeated late, night snacking 100 times, your brain will cling to it, even when it's destroying your health, because it's been linked with emotional safety. That's why your habits feel so hard to break, because they're not just choices, they're neural pathways. They're roads in your brain paved by repetition and reward. And unless you interrupt that pattern with something more powerful, your brain will keep dragging you back again and again and again. Not because it hates you, but because it's trying to keep you safe the only way it knows how. You've been told your body is the problem, that it's too slow, too stubborn, too fat. But your body is just the servant. Your brain is the master. If your brain says, hold on, your body will not release. And no amount of restriction or cardio or fasting will override a fearful brain. You can't force the body to transform when the brain still believes that transformation equals danger. Think about that. Your body is capable. It knows how to burn fat, but your brain is still choosing what it knows over what you need. And that's why your progress keeps resetting, because biologically, neurologically, emotionally, you haven't become someone new. You've just temporarily acted like someone new. You haven't reprogrammed your operating system. You've just changed the wallpaper. So eventually, your default patterns come back online, and the fat, it follows. But here's the truth that no one's saying loud enough. Your brain is neuroplastic. It is designed to change. It is not fixed. It is not broken. It is not destined to repeat. But it will only rewire under one condition. You must give it a new emotional blueprint. Because your brain doesn't learn through logic. It learns through emotion. It learns through embodiment. And it learns through identity. You can't just try to lose fat. You have to become someone who no longer stores it. Someone whose brain is aligned with the body. Someone who rewrites the reward. Who teaches the brain that a morning walk is just as comforting as a pastry, that deep sleep is more protective than late night scrolling, that calm is more powerful than chaos. Your brain must learn to crave who you want to be more than it craves who you used to be. And that doesn't happen through discipline alone. That happens through connection, through awareness, through retraining. Every time you interrupt the old story, every time you catch yourself walking to the kitchen out of habit and pause, you create a crack in the neural pathway. Every time you replace that snack with a breath, that binge with a boundary, that guilt with grace, you lay down new tracks. You create new memories, new associations. And over time, your brain begins to follow you instead of dragging you back into what no longer serves you. And yes, it takes repetition. Yes, it takes effort, but not the kind of effort that drains you. The kind of effort that liberates you, because the most powerful version of you isn't buried under fat. It's buried under fear, and when you dissolve the fear, through healing, through consistency, self-trust, your body begins to reflect that freedom. The truth is, most people aren't addicted to food. They're addicted to familiar pain. They're addicted to numbing the discomfort that never got processed. And fat becomes a form of protection, a layer between you and the world, a shield from rejection, a buffer against uncertainty. But the moment you decide to feel instead of numb, to connect instead of hide, you start to reclaim your biology. Your fat is not a curse. It's a message, a signal, a symbol of unprocessed stress, unmet needs, and unhealed patterns. And the moment you decode that message instead of fighting it, you shift from powerless to powerful, from stuck to sovereign, from surviving to thriving, because transformation is not about becoming someone else. It's about finally aligning who you are with who you were meant to be. It's about clearing the brain of false beliefs so the body can follow the truth. So what's the call today? The call is this: stop blaming your body for the decisions your brain made out of. Start listening, start noticing, start rewiring. Every day, choose one moment, just where you respond differently, where you pause, where you ask, is this nourishment or is this nostalgia? Is this hunger or is this habit? That one pause, that's where freedom begins. You don't need more willpower. You need more self-understanding. You need more safety. You need to teach your brain that change doesn't equal death, it equals rebirth. And every small win rewires the truth. Every aligned choice lays down new tracks. And soon, those new tracks become your new autopilot, your new rhythm, your new reality. And when that happens, fat loss is no longer the goal, it's the byproduct, the natural result of a brain that finally lets the body thrive. This is not just motivation, this neuroscience. This is the heartbeat of every transformation you've ever wanted. And right now, you get to choose. You get to become the architect of your own brain, not the prisoner of its past. So take this moment and decide, not tomorrow, not when it's easier, now. Because the future you're dreaming of isn't waiting for a lighter body. It's waiting for a freed mind. And if you ever forget that, come back to this space. Come back to NeuroPower Talks. Come back to this truth. You don't need a new diet. You need a new identity. And the moment your brain believes that, your body will never hold on to what your soul is ready to release.